Alright, Toolerinos, this is a putty knife or scraper that came with the Fredericksburg garage sale, yard sale tool haul. And the curiosity is just getting to me. I can see some awfulness right here. And I'm just curious if there's a diamond in this rough, or is it rough all the way through, you know? So I'm going to start picking at it and see what's underneath all this, whatever this is. Okay? Well, it's looking pretty rough. Not very diamond-like. Though, that's a brass rivet. I guess there's hope for it after all. Come on, Magdad, you know you want this now. Another brass rivet. Huzzah! And there it is on this side. Alright, so I've been scraping this side pretty well with a little flathead screwdriver, and I discovered that it has a nice heavy duty looking metal bolster here, and got the two brass rivets. This one seems a little tall on this side and a little shallow there and tall on this side. Maybe I'll be able to knock this one in and knock this one out, so to speak. So I don't know. Got some more scraping to do, and then I'll get the sandpaper out. So my son just stopped by to see what I was doing, and he said, "You're scraping a scraper?" Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm scraping a scraper, and if I'm gonna start saving patina, I better start now, because I got a nice head start. Look at all that lovely patina on there. I should save that in a jar, right? I know. It's fun. I think this is gonna be worth making something out of. It's gonna stay together, I think. And I'll give it a sand, and I think if any of the depressions in the wood don't fully sand out, and a little bit of the putty or Bondo or whatever this stuff was, if a little bit stays in the wood, that'll be okay. It'll just add a little character to it. Alright, so I finished scraping, and the bolster has a nice dish to it, but I didn't realize that it's just like a thin piece of metal that goes up over the wood. It's not actually this full thickness. The wood goes up underneath in there. I don't know if that really stands out well enough on the camera to see it, but yeah, this rivet's low on this side and high on this side, and it's reversed over here, so I think I'm gonna try to drive the rivet that way on this side and that way on this side, and see if I can center them a little bit. Maybe I'm asking for trouble. I don't know. I got a little OCD going. I might ruin it. I don't know. We'll see. It worked. I was able to drive the rivets a little bit each way so that they're much more centered now. And when I sand down the handle, I won't end up with these a rise on either side, which would have just driven me crazy. I find myself wondering what a bit of cheap Scotch-Brite will do to this before I get real sandpaper, so let's have a look. It's just kind of polishing it a little bit. It's polishing the patina. That's no good. Definitely need something more aggressive. Let's see how this goes. There. Now I'm getting to the rivets. So, making progress. So it's coming along. Alright, so here's the putty knife after the sanding and the picking and wire brushing with those soft Lincoln wire brushes. And the idea was to try to clean out this groove, this crack on both sides, and to expose as much of the grain in there to get as much texture as I can, so that hopefully the plastic wood filler will have a good bite and will stick well. Since this is stainable, after I sand it down, if it appears to have stuck, adhered well, and is going to stay part of the handle, then I'll stain it to try to match it to this as closely as I can, and give it a final sand, and then of course I'll still need to do some work on the blade, but that's my goal. And if it doesn't stick well, if it just comes loose or whatever, then I'll probably just have to grind the handle a little bit shorter and just live with it a little bit shorter. I'm sure it'll stay in the cracks since it has support on both sides there for sure, but we'll see. Alright, so this is how it has turned out with the plastic wood applied, and it's a little hard to work with. You got to use it immediately. As soon as it comes out of the tip of the tube, it starts to cure very rapidly, and so you've got to mush it into where it needs to go and kind of build it up as quickly as you can. It's been about a day, but it was on a heater, and we'll see how it sands down here. Alright, looking pretty good. I think I'll work on the back now and see how that comes out. Coming along, looking good. This is the basic sanding with 180 grit to shape it, and the plastic wood seems to have worked pretty well. It appears to be adhered and stuck very well. I mean, I haven't impacted it or anything, but it's looking pretty good. This is a bit of the plastic wood with a heavy stain of dark walnut minwax, and it's not quite dark enough, but this is the darkest I have, and I need to do more sanding on the blade and along the metal edge here before I do the final sanding on this with a finer grit. So, looking good. Onward. So here I am using a 357 Magdad tip of putting something under the blade so that I can sand it and push on it. And I'm using sandpaper wrapped around a pen to sand the curved bits of the bolster here, and you can see it's working out really well. And this sandpaper, I wanted to point out, I got it at a thrift store. 4 big rolls of this, made in Germany. Super tough, but you can tear it in either direction. And I got 180, 280, 320, and 500 for $8. So I'm set on sandpaper for a while. Okay, it's coming out pretty good. Keep working at it till I get it shiny. Alright, so I've sanded as much as I think I can stand with the 180. There's going to be, you know, these sort of imperfections in the blade, and I'm okay with it. It's going to give it some character, just like the handle's going to have some character. Alright, this is the putty knife after being sanded with 280. And now moving on to 320. Alright, so here it is after 320. It's getting definitely shinier. The handle's definitely getting smoother. It feels really good in the hand at this point, but I still have 500 grit to go. Alright, I have polished the blade and the bolster there as much as I'm going to. It is, you know, a distorted mirror finish with, you know, a lot of imperfections in it. I like it. Next is the stain, and we'll see how well that comes out. Alright, so here it is with the stain. I put stain over the whole thing. I try to double stain the filler, and it still, you know, isn't getting any darker. And I think it is what it is. There's other bits of the original putty or Bondo or whatever that was on there stuck to it anyway. So I think it just kind of adds to the character and helps sort of show where it was repaired. But it feels good and it's functional. And I think I'm just gonna coat it with some paste wax, see if that deepens the color back here on the handle a little bit. Alright, well, she's finished. I've got it waxed. It's so smooth, and you can see the blade is as mirror as I'm going to get it with its imperfections in there, and even the bolster is pretty shiny. So it's pretty nice, it's smooth. One thing I wanted to point out that I realized as I was working on this is that the blade is tapered. It's about 55 thousandths here at the handle, or 35 thousandths in the middle, and 25 thousandths at the tip. So it's definitely a tapered blade, and it's still very stiff. It's got its imperfections, but it's the character of it. Was there a diamond in that rough? Maybe a low quality diamond, but I like it, and that's what matters, right? Because it's my scraper. Okay, tell me what you think.